This is a communiqué issued by the Nigerian Medical Association of Akwa Ibom at the end of an emergency general meeting held on 12th May. So this was following a disturbing incident involving the alleged assault, brutalization, arrest and detention of Professor Deputy Chairman, Medical Advisory Committee, DCMAC of University of UUTH Teaching Hospital, a Professor of Cardiothoracic Surgery, along other staff members of the university. So I'm reading straight. It says, Professor Epe was apprehended within the premises of the University of UUTH Teaching Hospital by masked EFCC operatives who physically assaulted him, beat him to the point of bleeding, handcuffed him, and forcefully took him into custody, along with other people who attempted to intervene. There were gunshots fired within the hospital environment. The incident was barbaric, degrading, and inhumane. The chairman of the NMA was shoved and exposed to tear gas when he approached the scene to seek clarification from the operatives. There was no formal invitation extended to Professor Epe before this incident. This is incredible. This is incredible. A professor of cardiothoracic surgery is harassed within a teaching hospital setting by EFCC operatives. It's unbelievable and it's unheard of. I did not know that we had descended. Well, I know, but I didn't know we had descended so low to go into places where people go to seek help. They go to seek treatment of different ailments, and you go in there and you are shooting, releasing tear gas, and so on. I'm going to read the EFCC side of the story too, so that you can probably decide for yourself, you know. Okay, so here is the EFCC saying on 12th of which so it says that's true. Officials of the EFCC went to the University of UUTH Teaching Hospital. This was informed by the need to authenticate a medical report presented by a suspect under remand. So this suspect had presented a medical report, probably signed by University of UUTH Teaching Hospital, and this person had defrauded a number of people, so they wanted to authenticate it. They wanted to know if that was really true. Okay, so he said the suspect presented a medical report which required authentication by the UUTH management. The commission wrote two different letters, March 11 and April 20th, to the hospital management without receiving any response. So this is EFCC trying to justify them going into the hospital to harass a professor of cardiothoracic surgery. Like, you don't even understand some things. A professor, I learned that cardiothoracic surgery is a surgery that deals with surgery on the heart and the lungs. And there's only a single cardiothoracic surgery in the whole of Akwa Ibom, according to what I heard. I don't know if it's true, but of course I know cardiothoracic surgeons in the country are very few. As a matter of fact, cardiothoracic surgeons travel in from the US and the UK to operate in Nigeria. So you see them come maybe every 6 months, every 3 months to operate, and they go back. They don't stay. You only have a few of them. Maybe a cardiothoracic surgeon will let us know how many of them are actually in Nigeria. Very few of them. And you go there to harass this person who has decided to stay behind and save his country, and is even acting in the capacity of management. So it says the investigating officer took the further step of visiting the hospital to inquire, still no response. As a last resort, they visited the CMD of the hospital on Tuesday to make further inquiries. Now, which one are you visiting? Is it the chief medical director you are going to see, or the director or the C mark? Is it the CMD you are going to see or the C mark? Let it be clear. They say only to be locked in with a false alarm. This obviously is a lie, as you will find out as we go further. So they said they were locked in with a false alarm and subjected to unprovoked attack by misguided staff of the facility, who pelted them with stones and other dangerous objects. People will react when you harass them. When you suppress them, they will react. So these people are throwing, EFCC officials will not just be driving along and they will start throwing stones at them. So it was because of this perceived oppression. So while within the hospital, the CMD directed the gates of the facility to be shut. You will find out as we go on that this is a lie, making it impossible for any lawful inquiry to be made. In spite of hostility, there was no breakdown of law and order as operatives exercise restraint. This is also a lie, because there are videos online that shows a clear disruption of activities in the hospital premises. Okay, so alright, so next I'm going to read the response of the police. So the Akwa Ibom Police Command has denied allegations that its officers invaded the University of UUTH Teaching Hospital and assaulted medical personnel, describing the reports circulating online as false, misleading and distorted. Alright, so this is their own part of the story, their own side of the story. The chief medical director had placed a distress call. You see? So now he said the command clarified that the controversial operation at the hospital was carried out solely by the operatives of the EFCC and not the police. According to him, the CMD had placed a distress call to the Commissioner of Police in Akwa Ibom State after armed men were seen within the hospital premises and their identities could not be immediately verified. You can see EFC compared with what the EFCC was saying. So EFCC went into the hospital premises armed. They said they went looking for the CMD and they did not find him. And then suddenly the CMD said the gate should be locked. That story does not make sense. So you can see from what the police is saying that is already different. It's a different story. So apparently the EFCC officials went into the hospital and people within the hospital. The CMD then called the police to report the matter. And they said the CMD was also said to have ordered the closure of the hospital gates as a precautionary measure. Okay? So, the police said following the report, the Commissioner of Police deployed officers to the hospital strictly to assess the situation and forestall breakdown of law and order. Alright, so I'm going to skip. Okay, they said they met the EFCC carrying out their duty peacefully. However, the police alleged that the advice was not complied with. Okay. Yes, which caused an escalated tension at the facility. It added that the EFCC operatives were trapped within the premises. So now look at it like this. EFCC claimed they went into the hospital, they went to look for the CMD, but they did not find him, right? So what now happened? So when you went to look for the CMD and you didn't find him, suddenly people started throwing stones at you. You see, it makes no sense. So what actually happened was you went in there to arrest a professor of cardiothoracic surgery while he was at his duty post. And people resisted, which is what Nigerians should do. When you see somebody trying to harass somebody, this is what we have not been doing for a while. You must try and protect the person. It shouldn't be that they are harassing somebody, they are beating somebody up, and everybody is just looking and saying, what is my own? So the Nigerian people there did the right thing by trying to protect this professor of cardiothoracic surgery. Now the CMD heard about it and called the police. the police got there and saw that this was actually what was happening. It wasn't a lie. So how come the CMD told them to lock the gates? So is it both the EFCC officials and the police officials that were locked and trapped within the hospital, or they allowed the police to go and they left the EFCC officials? Of course, you can already say that this is not true. This is not true. In fact, I don't know. I read where the closure of the hospital gate was based on the recommendation of the police. So the CMD called the police. There are strange people in our facility. The commissioner of police then told the CMD they should lock the gate and they would come. And this was what happened. They came and then they saw it was the EFCC. And of course, the police would not be fighting the EFCC right there. Okay? So, basically, the police are trying to say that they are not directly involved in this. Okay? Right, so because of this, doctors and health workers at the University of UUTH Teaching Hospital have declared an indefinite strike. I mean, they said the incident left several people injured, phones were broken, people who tried to record the incident, their phones were broken, and they have directed doctors across the states to shut down their services immediately. We just there's a video that in fact I'm just due to release that video today about assault of medical healthcare providers, doctors, nurses, so and so on. And then this happened. So it has gotten to the point where EFCC is going to be harassing doctors. This has to stop. We condemn this in its entirety. Let's protect our medical staff. Let's not chase all of them out of the country.